Well, death penalty states that still execute their prisoners, they're having a tough time getting their hands on injection drugs to kill those prisoners. The U.S. has seen a shortage becoming more acute over the past few years, ever since European companies started refusing to sell certain drugs to U.S. death penalty states. Arizona, for example, they paid $27,000 for the execution drug sodium thiopentol, which the federal agents, they intercepted when it arrived at the Phoenix airport in July. It never made it to the prisons. Jose, what do you make of this? We don't have a very concurrent policy going on between the federal government and the states that want to execute these prisoners. This is what the FDA had to say about this specific drug. He said courts have concluded that sodium thiopentol for the injection in humans is an unapproved drug and may not be imported into the country. What do you make of this?
I mean, it's a very good moment to take a good look and re-examine the need for capital punishment. I think it's unfair, depending on the state that you live, the way you're going to be killed in case that you are in death row. We know that every year, less than, like a little above 1% of those in death row actually get executed. So it's not like we are actually enforcing the capital punishment as much. Many of these prisoners end up dying waiting for the execution because the number of appeals and the number of processes for these executions to be done is very, very lengthy. Now, the fact that they're trying to smuggle illegal drugs at the federal level as state officials is just mind-blowing to me.
Well, Nebraska is one of those states, and they ran into problems with the FDA because they tried to import $54,400 of this drug from Harris Pharma. It's a distributor out of India. So Western Europe is saying, we're not giving it to you anymore. States have resorted to trying to import it from India. I want to point out that other states, namely, Texas is the nation's busiest death penalty state. So aside from them, we see other states, Utah brought back the firing squad, Tennessee brought back the electric chair. So perhaps, you know, if they're really hell-bent on executing these prisoners, there are less humanitarian ways that they're going about it, which is really troubling. You think that they just fall in line with what the federal government is wanting to do. I mean, obviously this policy, some could say it's a way of stopping or halting executions, like Ohio, for example. 2017, they've halted all executions because they can't get their hands on the drug.
I think that you make a very important point. I think the lack of a centralized panel or body that decides what are the best practices of taking, of carrying an execution is what is creating this mess. We have different standards in every state, so it's impossible to come to an agreement. It's impossible to find the most humane drug that carries this execution in the best, quickest, lack of pain. Because although it's a punishment, at the same time, it's not about inflicting suffering into these inmates.
Let us know what you think at home about the feds intercepting that $27,000 purchase that the state of Arizona made to execute their prisoners. Also about the fact that the feds, their policy isn't concurring with state policies who want to execute their prisoners. Let us know what you think about this story. While you're at it, be sure to check out the rest of our channel and, of course, subscribe to the Lip TV for more.